That second video, which is this one I was telling you I was going to do, technically it's from the Economic Collapse blog, Michael Snyder. Again, running for Congress. Let me scroll down. Iowa. Pretty sure it's Iowa. Idaho's 1st Congressional District. Republican. Boy, do I hope he makes it. We need a guy like that in there. 78% of U.S. workers are living paycheck to paycheck, and 71% of them are in debt. Are you living paycheck to paycheck? If so, you are just like most the other hard-working Americans. As you will see below, 78% of full-time workers in the United States say that they are living paycheck to paycheck. That is the highest figure ever recorded, and it is yet more evidence that the middle class is under an increasing amount of stress. The cost of living is rising at a much faster pace than our paychecks are, and more families are falling out of the middle class with each passing month. Unfortunately, this is something that the mainstream media really doesn't want to talk about these days. Instead, they just keep having us focus on the soaring financial markets, which are being grossly, artificially inflated by global central banks, which includes ours, Federal Reserve, of course. When I came across the numbers that I am about to share with you, I was actually quite stunned. I knew things were not great in the real economy, but I didn't expect that the number of Americans living paycheck to paycheck would actually be rising. But that is precisely what a brand new survey that was just released by CareerBuilder is in fact saying. 78% of full-time employees said they live paycheck to paycheck, up from 75% last year. So it's up 3 more cents. According to a recent report from CareerBuilder, overall 71% of all U.S. workers said they're now in debt, up from 68% a year ago, CareerBuilder said. So here, hold on. 71% are now in debt, which is up from 68. Also up 3%. So we have an interesting statistic here. 78% of full-time workers are living paycheck to paycheck, which is 3% higher than it was last year. We also have a 3% gain on the people who said they're now in debt. Which means, as I've been screaming for quite a while, housing is way too high. Everything pretty much is way too high, but housing is the killer, and that's both rents and mortgages. It's the killer because it's too high, no disposable income left. You're just barely paying your bills again, living paycheck to paycheck. No disposable income, can't go buy stuff. Nope, just got to pay my bills, and the big chunk of those is for just my freaking house. And as a bonus, I also have to pay a second mortgage. What do you mean? It's called health insurance. Oh, second mortgage. Gotcha. Yeah, exactly. Health insurance. While 46% said their debt is manageable, 56% said they were in over their heads. And if you're in over your heads in debt, how are you going to keep crack that nut down on your house every month? How's it going to happen? See, this is why I make sure I talk about cryptocurrencies. I've got people emailing me all the time. Man, someone just telling me, man, back when it was $800, you were talking about it, and I just was not into it. Nope, not going to do it, not going to do it. Damn, I wish I would have done it. Gosh, I wish I would have done it. Bitcoin, $800. Speaking of which, I just need to take a little peek. When I talk about cryptos, I got to just take a little peek at the prices. Bitcoin, $7,023 at the moment. Just as a little FYI. I just gotta look. EOS. $1.06 still. All right. And just as an FYI, just, I did my video. Hey, if you got scammed and you can show me the right time frame and stuff, or when, just telling me you click my link, I'm gonna have to accept that you're telling me the truth. But I need to see when you signed up with BitPetite. I need an email. I'm just going to tell you, there's quite a few people with some Middle Eastern names out of effing control emailing me. And quite a few Indians. Now, I do have people worldwide listening to the Jason Up 4 show. But I'm just going to tell you what the chances of this are. Just as another FYI. I'm going to have to get into it right now. and I'm going to look at my stats to give you an idea of where demographics maybe. No, where is it at? Subscribers, audience retention. That was demographics, male, female, more geography. Okay. United States, 84% male, 16% female. Well, that doesn't matter. Let's go here. Watch time. United States, 55%. Canada, 7%. Vietnam. J-Snip, third place is Vietnam? What the? Why is that? I'm just gonna, again, are some of these people with these scam ICO stuff out of these countries? Maybe. Some of them are. We know they're overseas. Vietnam, all of a sudden, is number 3 on my watch list. I've never seen that before, FYI. Just an FYI. Next is United Kingdom at 4.6%. Australia, 3.6%. Thailand with 2.4%. Turkey, 1.2%. Indonesia, Brazil, these are all way low. Germany, Serbia, Colombia, New Zealand, Sweden, Ireland, Mexico, Slovakia, Poland, India, Philippines, South Africa, Norway, Singapore, Switzerland. And there's a little bit more under that, but that's way, way, way down. I just had to get in that because I saw another one, then another one, then another one. Middle Eastern name, oh, American name, Middle Eastern name. And this is what I was afraid of was going to happen. Get ready for people, which I haven't looked. Maybe they're legit and they're going to show me some stuff that I need to see. Oh, you know what? Middle Eastern or not, this looks like this person was legitimately signing up during the time frame I talked about. The problem is, everybody in the world was still signing up to Bit Petite Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like the rest of us were. We weren't the only ones. Again, if they get wind that I'm going to try to make people give them a little 10% commission back, oh, let me run over there because I can show that I was there too. I was getting in at that time frame. Even though they didn't click my link, even though I didn't get any commission from these people, they're now asking me to, oh, here's my transaction. So I'm going to look at all of this and see what I can do. But I had a feeling this was going to happen, and it looks like it's happening. And this is still this, as I'm doing this, it's 9 o'clock at night. I released that video earlier in the day, not early in the morning, earlier in the day though. What's going to happen by tomorrow? How many people are going to be in my inbox? In the third day, how many people are going to be in my inbox? Follow me? I'm going to have to go through this to see what I can do. But exactly what I said was going to happen is now happening. And now I'm getting a little more aggravated by it. Anyways, the first thing that we want to note about this survey is that it only includes full-time workers. So the unemployed, part-time workers, those that work for themselves and those that are independently wealthy, let's say, are not included. The second thing that we want to note is that these numbers have gotten worse since last year. That certainly does not fit with the narrative that we are being fed by the mainstream media, but it does fit with the reality that most people are living on a daily basis. Most Americans work extremely hard, but they can never seem to get ahead. Most of us are in debt, and a couple of weeks ago, I wrote about the elite use debt as a tool of enslavement as we work endless hours to pay the bills, so to speak. We are steadily enriching those that are holding our debts, right? What was the old saying out of the Bible, even? Not that I'm the right guy to ask on that stuff. The borrower is servant to the lender, right? And that's how this goes. That's the whole problem here. In addition, the cost of living is steadily going up, and most U.S. families are just barely scraping by from month to month as a result. Just a couple days ago, I wrote about how Obamacare was causing health insurance premiums to skyrocket, and today I come across another example of someone that has seen their annual premiums more than double during the Obamacare era. And he'd post this. For some lower income people in Obamacare, the rising premiums President Donald Trump has talked so much about will barely be felt at all. Others, particularly those with higher incomes, will feel the sharp increase when insurance sign-ups begin on Wednesday. Richard Taylor is one of the people on the wrong end. The 61-year-old self-employed Oklahoman has meticulously tracked his medical costs since 1994. In 2013, he signed up for an Affordable Care Act plan for the law's first year, offering coverage to millions of Americans. 4 years ago, annual premiums for a mid-level silver plan to cover his family totaled $10,000. For 2017, they were $21,392. That's an increase of 112%. Who can afford $21,000 a year for health insurance? I know that I can't. And rates are supposed to go up substantially again in 2018. We must repeal Obamacare, and we must do it now. In addition to financial stress, some Americans are also deeply concerned about the future of this country, just like the following numbers from a poll that was released this week. Almost two-thirds of Americans, or 63%, report being stressed about the future of the nation, according to the American Psychological Association's 11th Stress in America survey, conducted in August and released on Wednesday. This worry about the fate of the union tops long-standing stressors such as money, 62%, and work, 61%, and also cuts across political proclivities. However, a significantly larger portion of Democrats, 73%, reporting feeling stress than independents, 59%, and Republicans, 56%. That's because they're still butthurt over the election. They should be even more butthurt over what just happened with Donna Brazile from the DNC, blowing the whistle, writing the book, whatever, about how she was kind of forced to lie to Bernie Sanders' face. It basically, long story short, they did steal it from him and gave her the nomination. Long story short. So if I was a Democrat, I'd be upset too. Although remember, Bernie wasn't, he wants to be an independent. But I'd be a little upset about that too, to be honest. I'd be a little stressed out, highly stressed out. I thought you guys were going after Trump. What's happening? He's killing you, Democrats. He's destroying you guys. The DNC is finished, my friends. It's just done. I don't see how they could ever recover. I'll be honest with you. I certainly can't blame the Democrats for being stressed out. Donald Trump is in the White House and pro-Trump forces are taking over the Republican Party. And if a large wave of pro-Trump activists go to Congress in 2018, we are going to take this nation in a completely different direction. That same survey referenced above also discovered that 59% of Americans consider this to be the lowest point in our nation's history that they can remember. A majority of more than 3,400 Americans polled, 59%, said they consider this to be the lowest point in our nation's history that they can remember. That sentiment spanned generations, including those that lived through World War II, whatever. Of course, who did you poll? Were they Democrats mostly? Were they Republican? Right? 3,400 people, as if that's a big number. Come on, I hate these freaking polls. Remember the 1,000? We polled 1,000 people today, and 63% Democrats say that Hillary's up 63 to 30, whatever, something percent of Donald. Who did you actually poll though? We polled 60% Democrats and 40% Republicans. And you're giving that to us as like news of like a real poll? Yep. And you only got 1,000. Interesting. So that number seems very strange. Yes, I can understand that those on the left are very pessimistic now that Trump is in the White House, but this is definitely not the lowest point in recent history. Have people totally forgotten about the financial crisis of 2008? How about 9/11? The JFK assassination, the Vietnam War, the deep recession during the Carter years, and the entire Obama era are also examples of very low points in recent history. Yes, great challenges are coming, but for the moment the economy is relatively stable, much of the world is at peace, and at least Hillary Clinton is not in the White House. There is so much to be thankful for, and if people are there thinking that this is the lowest point in recent American history, how are they going to feel when a real crisis comes along? Exactly. It's kind of what I was thinking. But again, Who did they poll? Who were those 3,400 people you polled that said this is the lowest point in the country? 98% were Democrats. And of the Democratic Party, liberal leaning, how much of the of the 90%? Yeah. About 85%. Gotcha. So of course they're crying. Liberal tears. Remember that? Remember on when Donald Trump won, there was an eBay a thing on eBay being sold. Liberal tears, little thing of tears, and the bids were going way up just because it was like, we know it was just water or whatever, but liberal tears or something. I absolutely loved it. Like I said, when I saw them crying, freaking millennials and snowflakes and unicorns, it gave me several years to my life. It added the years to my life force. It was a beautiful thing. Having said that, I'm out.